Hello everyone, welcome to Telugu One Academy. Today in our internal security topic, we will further learn about the various security forces and their mandates. From that topic, we will today concentrate on central police forces such as Railway Protection Force, and we also have a special force called National Disaster Response Force, and we also have a separate body or a force I can call it, which is also called as Home Guards and Rashtriya Rifles. Though Rashtriya Rifles is a part of Indian Army, I would like to explain the Rashtriya Rifles in the Ministry of Home Affairs because it has been a controversial statement that Ministry of Home Affairs should also give financial support to the Rashtriya Rifles because of its operational nature. So we'll go into each and every important police force and we'll learn about their mandate and also more about them from the news articles what we see in our day-to-day life. Now first coming, we have the Railway Protection Force. So what exactly is the Railway Protection Force? What was its evolution? So this evolution of Railway Protection Force started from the British era when East India Company railway project was placed, and it was majorly to protect the railway property of the then East India Company. So now after the formation of India, there was also the need for such a force with a dedicated police force to protect the railway property and also take operations of crime and every aspect which is related to criminal and civil in the railway zone. So first, the Railway Protection Force IRPF is a central armed police force charged with protecting the railway tracks, equipment, personnel and passengers. So under which body or ministry does this Railway Protection Force come? It comes under the Ministry of Railways because it is the cadre controlling authority for the Railway Protection Force. Next. So what are its basic powers? It has the power to search, it can arrest, investigate and prosecute offences committed under. There are two major acts under which the Railway Protection Force gets its power. The one is Railway Property Unlawful Possessions Act, where someone tries to steal the railway track and takes them somewhere to sell it as a scrap or something else. And the Railways Act 1989, amended from time to time. However, the powers of arrest under the penal laws rest with the hands of the government railway police of the state government. So next. So there is also an important commando force of railway which was formed in the year 2019. This should be very important noting point because it is very important whenever you write exams for Central Armed Police Forces, rather it may be Assistant Commandant or SI or Constabulary Forces. Now Chorus, Commando for Railway Security. This is also called what? Chorus is nothing but Commando for Railway Security of Indian Railways, a new establishment manual for Railway Protection Force. What is the vision for this body? What is the major vision for this body? Friends, as it was given in the syllabus, the mandate of various forces, it is necessary to understand the vision and mission of every force. So now, to develop world level capabilities of specialized responders for any situation pertaining to damage, disturbance, disruption of the train operations, attack hostage, hijack, disaster situations in railway areas. Whenever an accident happens in a railway area or some persons or some people come and attack the railway property, rather it may be tracks or trains or anything, in all such situations the chorus will be operating. Even during terrorist hijacking of a train, even during that time, the commandos for railway security will be the major body or force which will deal with such situation. Following the doctrine of guarded response, minimum effective force shall be used for providing foolproof security to Indian Railways and its users. What are the salient features of this chorus? Because you see, the chorus, the average age of the commandos in this force will be between 35 30 to 35 years so that the force will remain young all the time with the fresh blood infused into it. Very high physical standards are needed to join the chorus, carved out of motivated and willing young staff from Railway Protection Force. Okay. Next, commando corps shall be deployed in left-wing extremist, insurgent, terrorism affected railway areas, that is especially in the regions of Red Corridor containing the states such as Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand and etc. So friends, now we come to the next next important force, that is National Disaster Response Force. After we have enacted Disaster Management Act in the year 2004-2005, so we have a section which has been included into the Disaster Management Act, which deals with the National Disaster Response Force. National Disaster Response Force does not have its own cadre, but they recruit different personnel at different levels from the state police, central armed police forces and border guarding forces, so that it can form its own battalions and train those battalions accordingly. You can see, organized on paramilitary lines and manned by persons on deputation from paramilitary forces of India, 3 border security forces, the Central Reserve Police Forces, 2 Central Industrial Security Force and Indo-Tibetan Border Police Force and Sahasra Seema Bal included with Assam Rifles. Friends, accordingly we have learned what exactly are these border guarding forces. When you see, we know that different border guarding force has their role at different region, and accordingly the regional wise border security force are trained for disaster response in that particular area. Let me tell you an example. Within the Himalayan regions, if any natural disaster occurs in the Tibetan region or Himalayan region, such as landslides or Himalayan Uttarakhand floods or Himalayan tsunami, which is called or occurred in the year 2013, then at that time it would be the Indo-Tibetan Border Police Force Battalion of NDRF which could deal with the situation very swiftly and with zero disaster. Okay. Next, here is the logo of a National Disaster Response Force. And next, the total strength of each battalion of Disaster Response Force, which has around 15 battalions, and each battalion has a strength of 1149. Each battalion is capable of providing 18 self-contained specialist search and rescue teams of 45 personnel each. That is, each battalion has 45 personnel who are especially and exclusively trained in engineering, technicality, electrical, dog squads and medical and paramedics. All the 15 battalions have been equipped with a trained to respond natural as well as man-made disaster. They are also exclusively trained in dealing with nuclear disasters also. You see, battalions are also trained and equipped with response during the chemical, radiological, biological and nuclear emergencies, CBRN. So this is exactly what is National Disaster Response Force, and we come to the next important force now, that is Rashtriya Rifles. So Rashtriya Rifles is the branch of Indian Army, my friends. Indian Army under the authority of Indian Ministry of Defence. It was established in the year 1990. So it is basically a counter-insurgency force. Okay, counter-insurgency force made up of soldiers deputed from the Indian Army. So basically it works in the region of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh Union Territory region. You see, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh Union Territory region, and there has been a fight between Ministry of Defence and Ministry of Home Affairs because the nature of this Rashtriya Rifles is to fight against insurgency, which is basically a task for police forces, and it has been said that Ministry of Home Affairs need to give funding, and it is said by Ministry of Defence that Ministry of Home Affairs has not been funding it regularly, and a pending of around 9.5 billion rupees have been left out from the Rashtriya Rifles. This is the logo of Rashtriya Rifles, what you can see. Okay. One can also note the motto of Rashtriya Rifles in that logo. So since the Rashtriya Rifles is under the authority of Ministry of Defence and further were initially designated paramilitary, to get around an armed manpower ceiling, they are sometimes misidentified as a part of paramilitary forces of India. That is, most of the time people think that Rashtriya Rifles is a part of paramilitary forces or police forces, but it is a part of Indian Army. However, headed by Additional Director General, Rashtriya Rifles, they are force completely composed of Indian Army personnel who undergo pre-induction training and operate in a grid structure to deal with insurgency at high altitude regions, especially the Jammu and Kashmir region. Now friends, we come to the next important security force of India, that is the Home Guards. Friends, you might have listened the word Home Guards very seldom within your state. Yes, Home Guards is the mandate of state where states can recruit civilian personnel, that is a personnel like me, like you, who is ready to contribute his free time whenever he is free or his time for the protection of that state. You can see Home Guards is a voluntary force. Please note that down. Friends, all these topics are important for the purpose of preliminary examination. One might expect such questions in prelims, but for the mains, you might not expect such a short questions, but their mandate and roles will be very important. Now, voluntary force first raised in India in December 1946 to assist the police in controlling civil disturbances and communal riots. Subsequently, the concept of voluntary citizen force was adopted by several states. I have provided you each logo. Okay, all these logos are very important to identify which force belongs to what. This is the logo for Home Guards. Okay. Now, in the wake of Chinese aggression in 1962, the center advised the states and union territories to merge their existing voluntary organization into a uniform voluntary organization called Home Guards. That is, each state had its own name. Now the central government said, now you all form a single name or single structure, where the structure or mandate will be provided by the central government. In that, please you fill your vacancies such as Home Guards after the Chinese War of 1962. What is the role of these Home Guards? You see, this is a mandate. The role of Home Guards is to serve as an auxiliary force, that is a supporting force. They are not the direct force, okay? To police in the maintenance of internal security situations such as communal riots and etc. Help the community in any kind of emergency such as air raid or during a fire accident or a cyclone, earthquake, or during the time of epidemics such as COVID-19. Help in the maintenance of essential services, promote communal harmony, and assist the administration in protecting weaker sections, participation in socio-economic and welfare activities, perform civil defense duties also. One can note the various mandates from this basic paragraph, that is, it has a lot of civilian role to play in its whole mandate. Types of Home Guards. Home Guards are of two types basically. Those are like rural and urban Home Guards. Apart from that, we also have bordered Home Guards or border area Home Guards who work in auxiliary for the border security forces. Okay. And even that we have a higher mandate of 5,53,000, around 5,53,000 of Home Guards in India, and all the states in India except Kerala have the Home Guards within their territories. Okay, except Kerala. This is very, very important point. Apart from that, as I said you, the border areas also have border guarding Home Guards who work as an auxiliary forces. Almost every border state such as Punjab, Gujarat, Meghalaya, Tripura and even Arunachal Pradesh and West Bengal have their own home guards guarding the border areas who work as auxiliary forces. This whole slide explains you about that border guard forces. How are the home guards recruited in India? So home guards are raised under the Home Guards Act and rules of the state and union territories. Basically, Home Guard Act protects the home guards, and basically states are the major authority or the people who have right to recruit the home guards. They are recruited from among all classes of people and all walks of life who have their spare time to the organization for the betterment of the community. Amenities and facilities given to home guards include free uniform, duty allowances, and award for gallantry, distinguished and meritorious services, and all these will be given for the home guards. Members of the home guards with 3 years service in organization are trained in policing, in maintenance of law and order, prevention of crime, anti-dacoity measures, border patrolling, prohibition, flood relief, even firefighting, election duties, social welfare activities, etc. You see, when one person works as a home guard for 3 years, then he can be recruited into the police indirectly by this basic act under the Home Guard Act. Now, what is the funding mechanism for this Home Guard? Because Home Guard Act is the major act which deals with that. So, for this purpose, Ministry of Home Affairs gives around 25% of the whole funds for the home guards to the states, especially with the northeast states. The percentage share is around 50-50. Okay. The center to the state government ratio is 25% by the center and the state government is 75%. And northeastern states except Assam, the sharing pattern is around 50:50. Okay. So the Ministry of Home Affairs formulated the policy in respect of role, rising, training, equipping, establishment and other important matters regarding the Home Guard organization. So friends, here we come to the end of this session regarding the different police forces in India. So we'll end our class here and we'll come with a new different class. So thank you for watching our video. This is Nikhil from Telugu One Academy. Thank you.